And we're back. So, chapter 6 of Genesis. Where do we get to? We got to verse 16. So we're starting verse 17 today, talking about the flood of Noah. And as normal on this Saturday, I'm in between two meetings right now. So I'm going to make it a little shorter today. And behold, I am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. Mabul. Or Mabul? Yeah, Mabul. So, it's a unique word for floodwaters, and it's unique specifically in the Bible, in the Hebrew, in that it only speaks of the worldwide flood. So it's a special Hebrew word that speaks of this worldwide flood, not just any old random flood. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you and your sons, your wife, your sons' wives with you. Now, why do I have that underlined? And let's I have covenant underlined and highlighted, but I don't have any notes by it. It might be the first occurrence of the word covenant in the Bible. So there you go. I'm pretty sure that's what it is the first occurrence of the word covenant. And of every living thing of flesh, you shall bring two of every sort into the ark to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, the birds of their kind, and the animals of their kind, every creeping thing of the earth after its kind. Two of every kind will come with you, and you will keep them alive. And you shall take for yourself all the food that is eaten. You shall gather it to yourselves, and shall be food for you and for them. Thus Noah did, according to all that God commanded him. So he did. Oh, there, I have more notes I didn't see yesterday. Cool. So here's the deal. Is estimations by creation scientists and other smart people who love Jesus and science estimate that there are between 3,000 and 18,000 kinds of animals. Now, again, that's not species today. Today's species, an animal has, a little bit of different colored spotting on it, and it's a whole new species. We're talking about animal groups. Ants, that's one animal group, right? Beetles, one animal group, maybe two. The other thing, though, is that did beetles come on the ark? Well, beetles could survive on floating debris. And yeah, there would have been a lot of floating debris. And a beetle can live on a floating tree. A mouse can't. Well, a mouse could maybe eat the beetles? I don't know. But the main idea is that the breath of life in their lungs, most insects, all insects, do not have lungs. They actually take the oxygen in through their exoskeleton. So actually, insects were not necessarily even required to be on the ark because there's no breath of life in them. I don't want to get nitpicky over this stuff, but it's just something to think about. Now, let's say 3,000 to 8,000. Let's go with the big number. Remember, we're trying to do the math to see, can you fit all the animals on the ark? 18,000. Now, let's double that number so that we have extinct animals. Let's just say that half the animals ever created are gone. So now we're at 36,000, right? Now, 36,000 kinds of animals. We're going with the big estimated number. We're doubling that number for extinct possible animals. And then one of each kind. So 36,000 turns into 72,000. Now remember, we could fit 125,000 sheep on the ark. But we only need 72,000 animals on the ark. Which means the ark is only 58% full. Just over half full. The 522 boxcars, right? So the ark, if you did that 1.4 million cubic feet, when you just take the smallest cubit measurement. So we're trying to be dramatic here to prove this is not hard. The smallest amount of cubic, the 17.5, okay? That's the small cubit. You do the math, that's 1.4 million cubic feet when you take the whole size of the ark. 522 boxcars, of which could fit 125,000 sheep, which again is like the average size of an animal. Yes, horses are bigger, but baby horses aren't that much bigger. And if you talk about mice and squirrels and other things, there's a lot of small animals in there too. So if you had 18,000 kinds, the higher estimate, double that for potential extinct animals or something we're missing, and then one of each kind, 72,000 animals, which means the ark would be 58% full. If it was only 10,000 animals, not the 18,000, the boat would be only a third full, about 32%. So the point is, filling this ark with the animals was not that hard. So again, people get worked up over this, like, oh, how could they fit all the animals on the boat? You know, those people haven't done the math. And I'm not trying to be all nerdy in math and stuff, but I'm just saying that the Bible keeps proving itself to be true if anyone with an open mind opens the book and takes the time to hear what it has to say. We're teaching Daniel at my church right now. And it's so fun hearing about how skeptics have attacked Daniel again and again and again over the years. And it's always history and archaeology that are catching up with the Bible, not the other way around. Belteshazzar, the guy who has the writing on the wall, no, Belshazzar. Belteshazzar was Daniel. Belshazzar, the writing on the wall in Daniel chapter 5. For years upon years, critics say, you know, there's no record of this guy in Babylonian history. He didn't exist. The Bible made him up. Until something, I want to say it was the 1950s, 1954, when some archaeology started to dig up information about Belshazzar. So it's things like that. Pontius Pilate, they said, didn't exist because Pontius Pilate's not mentioned anywhere in archaeology until they built the Aswan Dam in Egypt on the Nile River, which lowered actually the Mediterranean, because the Nile River is such a big river, lowered the Mediterranean, and then all of a sudden, pop, there was Caesarea Maritime there by the sea, and in digging there they find the Pilate stone that proves that Pontius Pilate, here Pontius Pilate, you know, prefect of Judea, again, science, archaeology, history, and fulfilled prophecy continue to prove that the Bible is real. So Christian, those things are real. It also means the rest is real. It means that if you cast your cares upon him because he cares for you, he can heal you of your anxiety, because the Bible commands, not suggests, you to be anxious for nothing, but in all things through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your requests be known to him, and the peace of God that surpasses understanding will guard your heart and your mind. We all want that. So if the archaeology is true, the science is true, the history is true, all these fulfilled prophecies show that it's true, then we need to believe in the promises also, and many of which are conditional promises. We have to learn to surrender these things to him. We have to learn to walk in faith and trust him when things are scary. Our feelings could be hurt, right? Life could be hard, and I don't see how God can make this work. But if God in his word has said, no, I love marriage, and so I'm going to make it work. If God in his word says, I love family, I love children, I'm going to make this work. We have to learn to surrender these things to him. God's not a genie. We can't just throw God out because God didn't answer our prayers, because God knows better. And there is a greater plan, but God does work all things to the good for those who love him and are called according to his purposes. So, the Bible is real, the Bible is true, and we need to believe all of it, every part. God bless you guys. Have an amazing weekend. We're in the book of Daniel at my church. I'm excited. I hope you guys who aren't plugged in at other great Bible teaching churches around the globe can join us if you got time. Take care, and I will see you guys around. Oh. Yes, and if by some weird reason I'm not here Monday, I'll make an announcement about that. We'll see. God bless you guys.